Hello guys, my name is Kalambai and this is Fruitful Investment Strategies. Today I have a guest for you and we're going to discover who she is and what she does and the subject that we're going to talk about. So thank you for coming again. Please, for our viewers' purpose and sake, would you please present yourself? Who are you and what you do?
Yeah. Before I introduce myself, I would like to say thank you for inviting me to this show.
Thank you.
My name is Emilia Grams. I'm a hairdresser.
Yes.
And I have been working as hairdresser for the past 16 years.
16 years, wow, that is really nice. And should we also mention that you are a mother of two?
Yeah, I have two handsome boys.
Two handsome boys, yeah.
12 and 10.
Yeah, can you tell us how is it actually to be a mother? Is it really easy, and how has been your experience actually?
Actually, it has been very great, or it is great being a mother, especially being a mother and working. It has been, a lot of work, but it's kind of cool because sometimes when my kids are spending time, I feel empty.
Okay.
Because I'm so used to this routine, everyday life.
Everyday, yes.
Yeah, so when they're not around, I'm like, when I need them back,
There is that space which is actually
too much space. Yeah.
You want that space to be filled.
Yeah.
And I remember them growing up, how they're very active. I know you to be a great woman who actually works hard and who really care about your family and about your children. And how you really, I see you struggling, just to actually put your children, so that they can have the best life. As a mother, you had children, but can you tell us about the upraising of those children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's fun having children, but it's like dedication, because you dedicate your time when you decide to have them. Because I have two very active boys, as you know, and then they go to school and take them for training. They are in different activities. They play football, so they have both football and then they go to football school.
Yeah.
So it's like during the weekdays, like full day in a week that either they are at the training or football school.
Oh, football school. Okay.
So it's sometimes very hectic, but this is what you choose.
Yeah, that's the kind of life you choose. But now it's that they're, because they have come to a certain stage of life, and then they have to actually participate in the social activities and stuff. But let's talk about when they were actually young,
you know.
When before they get into this, big activities, because now they're big boys, they're responsible people. They can, cook, they can
clean,
do the things on their own, we know that part now because they're responsible, but but there is that part when they're young, because that's when you're trying to form them, to give them a certain direction in life, which they should follow. Because we have some young parents who actually maybe, are thinking of becoming parents, and they're thinking, okay, how is it actually raising children in Norway, compared to other parts of the world where they are?
Well, I think, like I said, before you decide to have kids, you have to decide and you have to prepare yourself, because raising kids in Norway is not just easy, because first of all, when you hear about Norway, you hear about a country that is rich, and but it's kind of difficult in the sense that you have to give your time. It's all about time.
Of course.
And like for me, it was kind of tough in the beginning because I had my kids they were tight, close.
Okay. Yeah.
Just 18 months between them. So it was hectic one day because I had them. My oldest son started kindergarten when he was 9 months.
9 months.
I had to put him there because I had to work. We had to work.
Relatively fine, because some people put their kids at six months already.
Yeah. So because of the age gap, it was a lot of work. We had so much to do.
Yeah.
It's like 11 o'clock, then I'm finished with everything, before I can
Okay.
sit and relax.
Yeah.
Because I had to take them to
Kindergarten.
pick them up,
Yeah.
work. Yeah. So my advice is, when you want to have, before having children, you have to prepare yourself, mentally and physically,
Yeah. But, you're talking about preparation, so mentally, what do you think would be the best way to prepare yourself?
If I would advise, like, young people, go and get your education first.
Yeah.
And get a good job.
Yeah.
Get a house if you can.
Yeah. Before you kind of introduce yourself into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've seen also many people, some people who have not actually got all these things.
Yeah.
But they kind of, they just kind of feel ready to enter into into kind of that situation.
Yeah.
So it might be a bit challenging.
Yeah.
But do you think you can give them some advice? If they're into that situation, they have to kind of, take care, because some Africans, they come to from Africa, they come to Europe, they come with children.
Yeah.
And then they don't have that time actually
to go to school.
Well, they are kind of introduced in school, but they have children to take care of. What would be the best advice in terms of helping them, in that situation where they find themselves, they have children and then they have to go to school, they have to go to work and collect kid and banage, all this kindergarten, all these are challenges that you have to kind of go through.
Life as a whole we have a lot of challenges, and we are different,
Exactly.
Like in Norway, I think if you guys are two, it's much easier than
it's
you.
Easier. Yeah.
But in Norway also, you have a lot of single mothers who having it so it's difficult for them, because
exactly,
it's like all the work they are doing it alone.
Yeah.
So because of that, you get frustrated,
Exactly.
So my advice is better for if you can go to school when you come, in the beginning.
Yeah.
It would be better that you have a partner that understands.
Yes.
So that you can work together, because once you guys are two, it's much easier.
It's much more easier. Yeah. I see it with my kids.
Yeah.
Because I had to kind of work sometimes from home to help and assist what is happening. So it's really necessary what you're saying. So now we are actually going to talk about Barnetvernet. I know you know what Barnetvernet is, and you've been across them. It's a Norwegian welfare, which actually children welfare, which helps children.
Their purpose is to help.
Yeah, exactly. Their purpose is to help. But can you tell us more about Barnetvernet? Just give us a more, some soup about it. What do you think? Tell us more. Just some introduction.
Yeah, I think like the purpose of the child welfare is to help children here in Norway, and I'm 100% sure they have it every part of the world almost. But we have a lot of ups and downs, and we have some positive sides and some negative side about Barnetvernet. But from my perspective, I think the purpose of Barnetvernet in Norway has changed.
Okay.
When they formed Barnetvernet, it was to help children in need, children who have problem homes, parents.
Okay. Yeah, but tell us, why do they need to help?
And because they have some parents that, like I said, if you are alone, it's difficult.
Exactly.
Because you have to take the kids to school or kindergarten. You have to take them for training. Yeah. And you are alone. You cannot do everything, and maybe you have to work.
Okay.
You understand?
Is it in terms of when they're trying to help? Is it in terms of only when there is separation or parents are alone, or?
No, even that's why I say they have. The purpose of child welfare has been twisted. Yeah. Because the purpose was to help family.
Okay.
People with children, family with children.
Yeah.
But Norway, I don't know about other countries, has twisted it,
Okay.
in a way that most cases they take people's children.
Okay, so they have started collecting
Yes.
people's children, and then, but so before they were kind of helping children.
I think that was the whole purpose.
The purpose,
of helping parents with small children.
Yes.
Who has some difficulties.
Some difficulties in raising children.
Yeah.
Okay. So that can be, for example, if a home is actually there is conflict.
Yes, there is conflict, or even couples having problem,
yes.
because of work and schedules.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can step in and kind of help, with let's say sending children on the sports.
Yeah.
Or anything that. Yeah. But most of the time when I hear about this Barnetvernet, I've never heard them kind of just coming and taking your children to a sports club.
No, I can tell you why. Barnetvernet is like I said, the purpose.
Yeah.
But in Norway, they have turned it to a business, money making.
Okay.
Because most people in Barnetvernet who works, they don't have kids.
Okay.
For me, that's what I believe.
Okay. So when you're telling me about that, because one thing that comes in my mind is actually what happened in the time of Moses when he was born. Those women who are coming actually to collect. It's kind of remind me, women not having children, and then they have to collect other women's children, and then because Moses said that you must kill them. And then, or Pharaoh said that you must kill them, and then they're coming to actually destroy those. That's what comes first in my mind. Yeah. And because this is kind of a government issuing, the order that, if the people who are coming to check if the children are well, they have the power to decide either they should take the children or they should leave the children in the hands family. So in other words, the government has actually more power over your children than you have power over.
Yeah.
So since the power is to help, the purpose was to help. So when and how did that purpose change?
For what I see, like I said, most people that works in the child welfare center, if you check the backgrounds, there are people who don't have kids.
Yes.
And then Norway is a rich country, and yet people don't have too many children.
No.
So actually, some people, they are very immature. Like some of the people that works in Barnetvernet don't have experience. Okay. You understand?
Yeah.
They don't
have their own children.
They don't have their own children. They don't have experience, because if you're a parent, you know what it means to have children.
Yeah.
You understand?
Then you have a different approach.
You have a different approach. So when you are not lucky and you fall in the category with these people, these inexperienced, I call them inexperienced people that have no love, that don't know about children, who just work for money, you definitely have problems, because they cause problem for you. I can remember when my kids were small, they took them in the kindergarten. Yeah.
Before we get into that, because I called you because you have experience with it, and because I have people who are studying that, but they don't have much more experience on the side of people who have been collected, children. And it's studying is another thing, but there is also going through that process is also another thing, because we have heard also many Africans who are suffering and all that. But before we get into that, so their purpose is to help, and they're kind of not helping, but now they are starting to confront families. Yeah. So tell us a bit more. I mean, before even they come to collect your children, what happens? Before they come even to start collecting people's children, or how does the case start?
Sometimes the case starts from school, kindergarten, and even your neighbor. Your neighbor can create a case. Okay. Yes, but the pressure starts from school. You know, we Africans or
Yeah.
foreigners, because
Yeah.
it's not only African children it takes.
Yes.
We have our culture. You understand?
Exactly.
And I feel that this is one thing that the social welfare, they don't understand. They are
No.
not respecting our culture.
Okay.
So when our kids go to school or kindergarten, they look at them the way they look.
Yes.
Has an impact.
Okay.
You know, the way they are dressed.
Yes.
They can also say, "Oh, your child is not looking good," or and they create problem for you.
Okay. So can be just anything.
It can just be
anybody
anything.
is
Even
not
food.
Even food itself.
Even food.
Wow. Well, I mean, this is really
food.
amazing. So anything, which just makes somebody a pro, then they can actually create a case. And then what do? Do they call the police? Do they register on the website?
No, the school takes contact with the social welfare office.
Okay.
And like say, "Oh, I'm worried about a child," because of so reason.
Yeah.
Then they take contact with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't come directly and take the child, or they.
It depends.
It depends.
It all depends.
Okay.
I heard long time ago they used to be aggressive.
Yeah.
But now they are a little bit. It depends.
Because I remember when it came to my sister, when they came, they took her directly from Uptal where we're living, and then they took her to Trondheim. That is 2 hours drive.
Oh.
So they went and they started actually interviewing her, the courts. And then my mother was taking the police.
Oh my God.
My brothers were taking the police as well. At that time I was at university. So it's just by God's grace that actually everything went well. But so they take contact with you.
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, in your case, for example.
Yeah, in my case.
How did it start?
And I was at work, and then I got this telephone call from the social welfare officer and said, "Oh, I would like to talk to you and your husband." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Oh, we got a complaint from the kindergarten.
Yes.
Yeah, and that they are worried about your child well-being."
Okay.
And I was surprised.
But the kindergarten never talked to you before.
They never talked to me. They didn't say anything to me.
So they just smile. Everything is good. But why do you have to pretend actually that everything is good and when nothing is good?
My brother, this is Norway.
I mean, this is really strange that people have to really smile at you and just letting you know that everything is good, and then they have to call the next thing they call the welfare.
They do that.
I mean, that to me that is hypocrite. And how did you handle that actually? Or how were the teachers actually to the children? Were they not, according to you, were they nice before that issue happened?
No.
They were not nice.
They were not.
Okay. What are the signs that you saw? Okay.
The signs I saw, it was like you take your kids to kindergarten.
Yes.
With the hope that they will be okay.
Yeah.
And then your children come home with some, like you see, complaints, marks from other children. Yeah. And you don't get no telephone call from them. Oh. They don't explain what happened. Yeah. And then when you go to school and ask. Yeah. They have nothing to tell you. But when your child do something to the next child, they take telephone and call. "Oh, your child did this." Yeah. Okay. So.
And what do you tell them when they call you actually to do that?
And sometimes I get frustrated and say, "Why are you always calling when my child hit someone's child? Yeah. But when my child is hate, you don't call me, you don't even text me, and we have told you guys we need tests."
Yeah. I mean, that is really kind of, when these small issues start arising, so it's kind of an alarm to you that you should kind of go on the offensive.
Exactly.
But many people seem to go on the defensive. Yeah. What do you advise? Should you go right straight at the teachers and start kind of being aggressive? Or what do you actually need when those signs start arising?
Actually, I believe being aggressive doesn't solve any problem.
Okay. Yeah.
But what you can do every day when your child comes from Barnetvernet or school, check.
Check, okay.
If you see something that is not right, take contact.
Yes.
Call them.
Straight away.
Straight away, Yeah. Ask for explanation. "Oh, why you didn't call?
Yeah.
This is my son said this.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you should always be the first. Always be on them.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, you should
be
always
on them.
Be on them.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't let them be on you.
Because they are going to twist. Because it's like when they see African children, I don't know. They have this mentality that we don't know how to take care of our children.
Yeah. So they kind of, excuse me for the word, they kind of see you as subhuman.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really interesting because you can see this actually in many African parents. Not only African parents, but I'm talking about African parents because we are from that background.
Yeah.
And many African parents do not talk. They don't know how, especially when you come from Africa, you don't know anything. You have not really gone into the system here. And then it becomes very difficult for you to become defensive to your children because you don't know your rights. So anyway, when they call you, what happened again?
Yeah, I was very calm because I've heard a lot about Barnetvernet.
Yeah.
And I was not even expecting.
Yeah.
But you know, anybody here can get called from Barnetvernet. So I just told him, I will have to discuss this with my husband.
Yes.
And get back to you.
Yeah.
So I had to call my husband to tell him, oh, social welfare wants to.
Because your husband is not easy.
Yeah. They want to have a meeting with us, and he went, what? So I said, just calm down. We just have to go and see.
Yeah.
And then I called the woman after like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Told her yes, it was okay.
Okay. So they wanted to have the meeting right away.
No, they scheduled a day.
A day.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And that was like, I can remember, we had 2 days between.
2 days between. Okay, so you had the time to actually prepare.
Yeah.
But you know, when you saw those red lights, what were you telling to the children?
Well, I didn't want to get my children mixed in this because I didn't want to fighting them.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I know I'm a good mother.
Yeah.
I know I have done everything.
A good job, yeah.
A good job.
Yes.
So actually, I wasn't fighting at the core.
Yeah.
So I just prepare myself psychologically.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So what were you saying to yourself? Were you like, okay, now it might be that they take the children? No.
It's obvious, you know. But
I
was just telling myself, be calm.
Yeah.
You know, when you go, you know who you are.
Exactly.
You know what you can do.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
So I just get, because I'm this person, I quick to get nervous. And, you know, so I was just telling myself, be calm and
relax.
Yeah, relax.
Oh, bless you. I mean,
it's important for you to, because sometimes they just see your appearance.
Yeah.
You can see it from your face and
exactly. So if you are shaking or something like that, they know this guy actually, we got a rat into the trap and then we are not leaving it. Yeah. So it's really important for you to not shake.
Don't shake.
Don't shake.
You know who you are. You know.
Exactly.
It's not easy to be a parent.
And you have to be upon them now. Yeah, I think that is very important because I'm not saying this because of I tend actually to see and to realize that Norwegians are people who do not speak, but they observe. They observe a lot. Yeah. And since they do not speak, they don't give you a warning, but they act. So if you do not know how to react to that action, they coach you. So you are in the trap. Yeah. And that is really hurtful for many foreigners or Africans because we tend to react kind of aggressively and fast, and we don't think about the consequences afterward. So now you are actually thinking, you know, you don't know what will come, you don't know what will happen. What was your husband saying? Or what were you talking to one another? Because you have to prepare for the case to meet them.
When we came home, I can still recall, we're like, what is going on? These people, you know.
Yeah.
And I can remember the only thing I said, well, I think they're just coming around, so this is our time.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then I asked him, "Are you afraid?" He said, "No." You know, what should I be afraid? I've not done anything. You know?
Because he's not. He's a man who doesn't really care. Yeah.
So, but I could also, it's kind of disturbing, no matter what,
Yeah.
because you think you are doing your best, and then someone just take telephone and say, "You have to come to my office. We need to talk."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I just like, I was just calm, because I just didn't know what to think.
Exactly.
Because the kids were much smarter, and I know, children can be children.
Children.
But I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Like, so I couldn't say anything to my kids because I didn't want them to get mixed.
Yeah.
With.
You don't want to stress the children.
I don't want to stress them. They had to go to. So I was just waiting.
Yeah.
Actually, I was kind of anxious to just hear what
what they wanted to say.
Exactly.
Yeah. And in that time, did you get to actually speak to other people who had gone through the same situation?
Yes, it's important.
Yeah.
You just don't speak to anybody.
Okay.
You have to speak to people who you think
they can help.
Mm-hmm. I have a friend that works with Barnetvernet.
Yeah.
So when I called him, he was like, "Oh, just calm down, and these people,
Yeah.
And he just told me, just do your normal thing because I know,
Yeah.
Don't be aggressive. So I told myself, I know,
Yeah. Yeah.
And one advice he gave me, and I will give to anybody.
Yes.
Whatever they want to do, don't stop them.
Yeah.
If they call you for a meeting, go and hear what they got to say.
Yes. Yes.
Be calm and listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. So he told me, even if you go there and you say something, listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, and we Africans were very loud in talking.
Exactly.
Try to moderate your voice.
The way you actually approach.
Yes, the way you approach them. So, and I took that with me in the meeting. We actually did.
Yeah.
And I could see this, the woman from Barnetvernet. Luckily for her, she had kids almost the same age.
Yeah.
So she was like, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah.
Because the story they was telling, anybody could believe that was not true.
So that is good because we want to go into the deep of it.
Yeah.
But when you are now on the day that you are going to meet them, who were you going with? Was it just you and your husband, or was it also, did you take the children with you?
No, I did not take the kids.
Okay,
We
the
just
kids, they went to their normal.
No, they were in kindergarten.
They were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Okay, you just went them in the
Yeah.
kindergarten. So you went with your husband, and then you reached there, and did they tell you why?
My kid's father, my kid's father, yeah.
Did they tell you why they called you?
Yes.
Okay, what was the reason they said?
They told us that our the boys, one of the boys drew a picture.
Okay.
Just a picture of mommy and daddy.
Okay.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
He drew, actually it was 3 pictures he drew.
Yeah.
Mommy, daddy, and he was standing in the center of the picture crying, You can laugh.
Guys, be careful.
Be careful,
Okay.
And when they saw the picture,
Yeah.
and asking, he ran in the closet. He ran in the closet.
Okay. Yeah.
And when they asked him, why did you draw a picture of you crying, your mom and dad?
Yeah.
And he said because he was not happy home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was it.
And how old was this kid?
This kid was just 3 years going to 4.
3 years. 3 years. You don't really understand a lot of things, and you do a lot of you're just a baby. Actually, you're just a baby. So just drawing a picture of him crying.
Yes.
All of them were at risk.
Yes, just a picture. It started with a picture.
Okay.
And then they started to ask him, why you not happy,
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know. So they figured from that picture, because a child with a picture of him crying.
Yeah.
So when we went for the meeting, the first thing we asked was the picture, the drawing, which today we have not received that drawing.
They didn't even show you the picture.
They did not show us the drawing.
So what is the? Okay.
I'm telling you the truth.
I mean, to me, that looks like you don't have any evidence to present before me, and there is no case.
Yeah.
To me, there is no case. If you don't have any evidence to present, so the case actually lies.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, we can show you the picture.
They just found excuses because this happened when my son was just 3 years old, and like no, but we need to see the drawing, and yes, and the teacher said, but we have the strap, you know. Then I said, okay, you know what? I would like for my son to draw. I know. Yeah. I don't know that my son can draw. To express himself. So exactly. So I would like for him, you know, to draw in my presence because you are seeing this. So I would like to see it myself. And I mean, nothing.
But at 3 years old, could he speak?
Yeah, he was speaking, but not too
well.
Voice during some children.
Yeah, because I know 3 years old, it's really not. Some children don't speak at 3 years old, and
he was speaking, but not.
He was not well. So you could.
Yes.
Could you ask him?
Yes, I asked him, and then I can remember the teacher said, "Hey," and then we had another episode. He came to school and said his father can do like this. He hit his butt.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, correct him.
So when the woman asked the dad said, when I take my kids to bed every night, I sing for them. Yeah. And I do like the
I clap them.
I clap them. So are you saying? So it was the two issues. They felt that.
Okay,
they were worried.
But this is funny now.
And today he still do that.
But so those were the two issues.
For me, yeah.
But did you ask even for those pictures or the drawings at Barnetvernet, at kindergarten?
Yes, we asked and they couldn't. So then I knew this was something plain. Yeah. You know, this was not real.
Wow.
Because no, you have to give me evidence if you create a case, you know.
Exactly. You cannot just come with a case and then it's come out of the blues. You have to give the evidence. Now, they didn't present you evidence. So what was the issue?
No, so they created a case.
Yeah, they created a case without evidence?
Yes, they created a case because we have two cases. Yeah. The first one was the drawing which shows they said. But then when we asked the boy, the baby just shook his head and said, no, mommy, no. Yeah. And then we had to ask the baby, the boy, and did your father not? And he said, no, my father do. He told the social worker woman, you know. But they created a case because, you know, Norway, once it comes to kids. Yeah. But then after 1 month, they closed the case. Because there was not much evidence and nothing.
Okay.
Didn't see anything.
So you just had a chat. How long did that chat actually take?
It was like 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yes.
How many were there?
There were 4.
4 people. Okay. Just interviewing you. What are some of the questions they asked there?
They asked, the first question is, how is it with the kids home? What do we do with our kids? You know, during free time. Yeah. Even ask what kind of food the kids eat. Okay. And I think that is not necessary.
Yeah. You know. What does that concern them?
You know, and then they ask, how is it like, you know, working and having kids? And we told them this is something we plan for, and we are 2. Yeah. And then they ask, when we take the kids to school, do we ask, you know, question about how the kids have done in kindergarten? And we say yes, we do all of that. And when the kids come home, we ask them how did they go, and we even call the teacher at kindergarten to ask, you know. But sometimes they tell us nothing. Yeah. And what surprised us is, you know, like if you think our kids have a problem, you're supposed to take contact with the parent first.
Exactly.
But we never one day got any complaint from them, you know. So these were the questions they asked us, and we just explained. our everyday life, we are working, but we were managing our kids.
Okay. So they just kind of wanted to know how it's going at home.
How it's going at home.
But did they ask, for example, how is actually the relationship between the father and the mother?
Yeah, they do. And that was when we told them we have a very good relationship with our kids. We eat together. We read to them. We tell them about God, because we want to train them. So, and we take them out for activities there, skiing. We do things.
Of course. Okay. So they kind of looked and saw that you are integrated in the society, and then you are actually doing these things. So after the meeting, how was it? Did they just greet you and say, "Hey, we have created a case here," or did they say, "Okay, we are coming to visit you home and to see how the children are doing"?
Yes, actually they did, because when they open that case on you, they have to. It takes 3 months of observation.
Okay.
So after the meeting, the first meeting, they told us, "Okay, we'll get back to you guys, but we are coming to visit. We'll have to see how it's like in the home, because this is a case. We have gotten a complaint." And we just told them, "You are welcome anytime." So they set a date and they came.
Yes.
And when they came, they inspected the house. They went in the case room, and they were kind of surprised because everything was under control,
Yeah, but what do they look specifically for?
But the first,
when they come and they start controlling the house,
the first thing they look at, how tall the house is.
Oh, the environment.
The environment.
Is it clean?
Is it clean? And then they even go in the room to see, how the kids room.
The kids,
So they just went around, checked, and then sat and waited when it was time for us to have dinner. And we told them, we do have dinner together with our kids. So the woman was sitting on the other side and we had our dinner.
Oh,
and we just
did you tell her, "Please come and join us to dinner"?
No, I didn't need to.
You kind of left her, on
she was just sitting
on the side. Okay, she was just watching and observing. How long did she observe?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Trust me, when everything is intact, they don't stay long. So 10 minutes, they just come and.
Okay, they just come and see. Do they say anything?
Yes, I can remember. When she was leaving, she said, "Det var koselig å være her," which means it was nice coming.
It was nice to be here. Okay. How old was she?
I think I still remember Camilla. She was, at that time, she was like 31 years.
31. Okay, so this is a young woman, and
who had 2 kids also.
She has 2 kids now, or she had.
Yeah, I think her kids and mine should be like almost the same age.
Okay. So she has kids, and she could really see the situation at home, and she could appreciate that the situation was very well. Now, did she come once, or did she come many times?
She came twice, actually. She was supposed to even come, but when they come and see, like for me, my case was different because I know a lot of people who had a very bad cases. Their children were taken away. But when she came and saw the environment was okay, the children, they were happy. So the family playing, laughing. So she came 2 times and told me, "Okay, we'll get back to you." And then actually the case was supposed to last for 3 months. But after 2 months, we got a paper and said we are closing the case. There is no case.
Okay, that's very fine. But tell us, when they came the first day, what did you tell the children?
I just told them that someone is coming to visit to see, in the house and to talk to. Because I forgot to talk to the kids. They asked them, "How is it home? How is mommy and daddy towards you?" And the kids say, "Oh, they're asking Mama, I love my parents are okay. I'm happy." They do ask the kids question.
They ask the kids question. But do you prepare them also mentally and saying, if you do not behave properly, they're going to take you to an institution and then you never see daddy or mommy?
I actually, my oldest son, he asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
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 And I just told him that, a lady will come here to see because the school, we had to, we didn't want to tell, but we have to,
yeah. Because you have to,
yes,
you have to prepare the kids
yes.
as well. Because one mistake can cost
yes,
you.
so we
really...
told the kids the purpose.
Yeah.
And they said, no, mommy, we don't want anyone to come in our house. The kids were a little bit afraid because that's why I was kind of particular, but I told them, no, it's going to be okay because you are having a goat, right? Yeah. So you don't have to be afraid. No one will take you.
Exactly.
And I can remember when the woman entered the house, the youngest held on to me.
He was afraid.
Yeah, he was afraid. It's obvious, someone just come in your house.
Of course,
so we had to tell them. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you hide your children and then something happens, then you kind of have lost. Lost. So they want to see how casual you guys are and how you. So your then husband was there, as well, and as they were actually going through all this. But now, after the first day, what did they say to the children? I want to see.
No, they just, like I said, they asked the kids.
Yeah, how are you?
How are you? How is mommy and daddy? Do they hate you? Do they hate on you?
Oh, they asked those questions?
Yes, they ask.
Wow.
And the kids said,
so
no,
because many children, they can say as well, mommy hated me,
and actually, it was good she asked that question because she heard what the boy said. And the boy said, one of my sons said, no, mommy or daddy don't hate on me, but daddy always at night do because it was this and then she then she believed because that was the child was not in the meeting,
Exactly.
So I was so happy when he confirmed that.
Okay, that came out naturally.
Yes, it came out naturally,
Yeah, and so, what was the reaction? So what was the kind of reaction when she heard?
She was a little bit like, I could see her face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she was this is what we spoke about in the courtroom. Yeah. So and when she actually finished, when she went out, was she satisfied? Or
the expression on her face looked like she was
satisfied.
Because when she was leaving, she did make a comment which says it was nice
to be here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so
what the
that
first
gave
time,
us
the
hope
first day.
that everything will be okay.
Yeah, that was the first day.
That was the first day.
And she was really satisfied. How did you feel?
I felt relief. I felt good.
Yeah.
Like I said, your mother or father, when you're doing a good job,
Okay.
But, it was kind of, for me, I felt a little bit relieved, and then I was just hoping, I hope this is not going to take long or go long, because you don't want a visitor that you don't know to just enter your house.
It puts a lot of pressure on the family. To
see what you eat, they ask you, what are you eating? When do you have dinner? All those things, you don't want that.
It's unnecessary. Unnecessary questions. But what do this Barnetvernet or this Norwegian, how do you call it, welfare,
child welfare,
what do they expect the parents to do?
I think they have this concept of African parents that we are aggressive. We only know how to put out kids, but we don't know how to take care of them. That's what they have,
But what they forget is that they're the one who taught us to be aggressive.
Exactly.
They were the one hitting our parents and then cutting their hands, to do rubber. So now they're saying we are aggressive. But anyway, we know that the Bible says that you should correct, train your children in the better way and correct them, when they need. So now we're going back to you again. They went and they left. And now they told you that they're coming back. The second day, what happened?
The second day, the visitation was very short. Because actually, they have time, like maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. But like I said, when you come and see the environment is good. So the next day, the woman came, not the next day, I think it was after 3-4 days. She sent me a message. She said, "Oh, I'm coming," and you're welcome. She came and she sat for like 10 minutes because we're getting ready to take the kids out for activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she asked me, "Where are you guys going?" And so we're going to take them outside because they have to do some activity. They are very, and she said, "I see they are very active." I said, "Yes, they are, you know."
Because they're always holding each other. Yeah.
So like I said, for us, we're just calm, you know. We actually, it was like, okay, you can watch me do whatever you want, but I have to live. I have to do my normal life. This is something I do every day, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then I said, if you want, you can join us. And she said, "No, I can just leave."
Okay.
So she left.
So she left, and then because you know you don't have to kind of submit yourself to their rules and regulations and stuff. You have to be to really stand in your boat and hold your ground in terms of that. So they sent you a letter.
Yeah, they sent us a letter saying.
And that was how. After the second day, how many days did pass before they sent you a letter?
It took like 1 month, some weeks.
Okay.
Yes, we were just on the telephone, talking on the phone.
Yeah.
And then I can remember actually she was supposed to come over again, but then she got sick.
Okay.
Yes, and then we had a meeting at school at the Barnetvernet.
Okay.
And then I told her, we would like you to be at the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, at the school, you know, because before they could close the case.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the smartest things we did to
invite them at the meeting at
yes,
school.
Did
you call for the meeting, or did Barnetvernet call or kindergarten call for
kindergarten call for the meeting?
Okay.
Yes, and we asked this woman
to come,
the social welfare officer, to be with us at the meeting.
Why did they call for the meeting?
And because they said that they I think they wanted to know how far the process was, because actually I think these people wanted to take. They wanted for the social welfare to take
the
kids.
children. Okay.
Yeah, because they always used to complain the boys are active and this stuff.
So
hello,
kids
kids
must be active because kids must play. Kids must do that. That is the normal being of kids. So what did they expect? Somebody who was just dead or so they wanted actually to take the kids, but that did not work.
It did not work
for them.
Yeah.
So what was the conversation like in that meeting?
It's like when they open a case on you, it's a process, and that they have to also observe. So when they send a letter to Barnetvernet, they have to follow up too. To see how is it going home, and if Barnetvernet have come in. So when we went at the school and the kindergarten with the woman, they were kind of shocked because normally when they send a complaint and if you are not lucky, if you have some inexperienced social worker or child welfare, they can take your kids.
They can take your kids.
Yes.
Wow.
They do. But for us, it was like opposite,
Yeah.
So they were very surprised to know that, okay, why did they come with this woman? So we were using her as evidence because, sometimes they'll tell you something else. And when you try to express yourself, they say misconstruation.
Yeah, they report something else.
They report something else.
Okay, so that was really nice. She comes in and then she just say, okay, there is no point actually to follow this case. So did it take long after that meeting and the letter?
It took, if I can remember well, it took like 1 month, 2 weeks.
1 month and 2 weeks. So they send you the letter and they're saying, okay, the case has been dropped down. Yeah,
because I can remember just before we got the letter, we had another meeting at the office, at the child welfare office, and then they asked us, how is it going home? If there's a need for help, because the woman saw that we have 2 active children, and both of us we are working people.
Did you tell them that you don't need help?
And actually, I told them, yes, I need help.
Okay.
I was honest with them. It's good to be honest,
Yeah, exactly.
I told them we told them yes.
Yeah.
And I think that boosts us, it gives them a different perspective about
you.
Yes, exactly. About us,
Yeah.
So when she asked what kind of help, because I like, okay, since they want to take my case, they don't know how much work I have. Yeah. I'm going to give them back. I'm going to give them work.
Yeah.
That was the purpose. I really didn't need help. Yeah. But I just wanted to give them back something to do,
Yeah.
Because some of them can be less basic. It has nothing to do. They just want to take your children and make money.
Yes, exactly.
So I said, why should they come in my home, see how I live, and then just go free?
No.
So I discussed with my children's father and said, look, these people, we have to do something.
Give them something to do. Since they don't have something to do, let them do something. Okay.
So we told them we need help. And they were shocked, because nobody people don't go to them to ask for help. Yeah. So when they asked, what kind of help?
Yeah.
We need someone to come and take our kids for training,
Yeah.
Like I've lost her.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, Visca, thank you. But actually we got...
That's what we think about it. Yeah.
We got the help and then, there's a lady who used to just come an hour to just take the kids outside. Okay. We could do it. Yeah. But sometimes when you don't know what parents go through.
Yeah. You have kind of experienced that, and then you decide for yourself, okay. Okay, so she took the children.
No, so we told them we need help. They said, okay, we are going to find someone to help you.
Yeah.
So I think that also gave them a positive perspective of us, that these are parents who doing their best.
And they're honest.
Yeah, honest. And they told us that and they were very shocked when we told them that we need help.
Yeah. Because one thing I know, do not be afraid before them.
Don't.
If you're afraid before these people, just know that you have lost the case.
Yes, don't be afraid. Be normal.
Yeah, and just speak normally to them and behave normally.
Yes.
And then sometimes be a bit aggressive as well. A bit.
Yes, you can be aggressive.
Yeah.
But you don't have to fight.
No, don't fight.
Don't fight. And the first thing I can remember telling the woman that we Africans, we are loud when we are talking.
Yeah, exactly.
So, please, if you think, then you should just tell her to lower our voice.
Yeah.
Because, our talking sometimes, the way we talk, make people think we are aggressive.
Yeah, it's strange to them all that. Yeah, so he comes and he takes the children out.
Yeah, she used to go, and actually it was not the woman from Barnetvernet, but she sent someone to help.
Else, okay. Yeah. And where was that somebody coming from? Was it another institution?
No, it was a friend that we knew, a Norwegian, lady. Because you can just trust your children with anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we told them, okay, we have this person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he accepted.
Yeah, because that's the job, that's the purpose.
Okay, but were they paying this person because he's not working for the institution?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay. But he also was kind of cooperating.
She was.
She was cooperating. Yeah. Sorry, she was cooperating with the Barnetvernet or the institution, telling them how these activities were going. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you had to kind of get somebody who you trust because he has to help you in the process. Yeah. That was very good. So they came and the woman kind of helped the children.
Yeah.
Did it happen many times?
Actually, before the case, it's like 2 times, and I think she also told them, that we are good parents because she see. Yeah. And then we became like family to this woman. Yeah. Because when we told them this is what we are going through, she was very surprised and said, I can help you whenever you need help. Yeah, because I know you guys. Yeah. I definitely know.
Yeah, exactly.
So when the case was closed, she still used to come and help us.
Okay, that's very good. So you created kind of a relationship with this person, and then the kids kind of get used.
Yeah.
Now they have closed your case. Then what happens? Were you happy, when they closed the case?
Obviously, you become happy because, look, you don't want anybody just coming into your home to see what you do,
exactly.
So we were kind of happy and more relieved, but at the same time, we had to be on
the toe.
On the toe.
Did you go and attack the banner again, say, hey, what you're doing is not correct? You should stop doing what you're doing? Or
actually, they were kind of surprised because they saw the kids going to kindergarten, so they knew their plan didn't work.
Yeah.
So, and we were just like more on them, more careful.
Yeah.
And at the same time, observant. You have to check your children.
Yes.
And you have to, because these people, they don't give up, actually.
Yeah, because our children are vulnerable.
Yeah, they don't
very
give up.
vulnerable. And, anything can happen at kindergarten here.
Yeah.
You have children who have been molested. You have children who have died because the kindergarten did not take well care of them. But these are very, I can say, some cases which happens at kindergarten, and you have some people taking pictures of children, and then, there is all that thing. So now, for the parents who are coming here, because, you have some parents who are coming here, they don't know, anything. They become kind of a prey for these people.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, it becomes kind of business oriented. So they look for how to actually, get these children.
Especially those who are vulnerable.
Yeah, because many are very vulnerable, and I was just following in Sweden, not only in Norway, but you have these cases in Sweden as well, where they take children and then they leave the mother, and many families are really crying for these, this institution, what they do. Because I was looking at the statistics. They were taking 135 or 175 children were taken last year. So but when they take those children, if in case they take any children, what happened to the child?
Oh my goodness, you just have to pray.
Yeah. Because
it's like 75% of children taken from home, from their parents, through this child welfare.
Yeah.
The children become drugs addicts.
Drug addict, yeah.
They commit suicide. There is no love.
Wow.
They just put them in an institution that they don't even care for the kids.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying it's all about money making.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know so many friends that have had Barnetvernet cases that some of their children were even raped by
the institution.
Yes, by the institution.
I mean, it's really breaks my heart when I see those cases, because I had a friend who I knew. She was actually a girlfriend who was actually in the Barnetvernet institution, and I've heard of how these, they can't. You have a child who is actually drinking alcohol, start smoking, and nobody cares. So, but what happens? Does this institution have some kind of a building whereby they keep the children, or do they just give the children to some other families to take care of them?
I think sometimes first they go into this institution while they are looking for a family.
Yeah.
And when you are lucky, like I say, Barnetvernet, the purpose has changed,
exactly.
But the purpose is good because it's to help family. But when you are lucky, and they put you in a family, some of them turn out okay.
Okay, but you are not allowed to adopt children here.
No, you are not.
Okay.
You understand? And then because I'm a hairdresser, I can tell you, there are so many children that come to me. When Barnetvernet children, when you see their hair, it's totally horrible because they don't know how to take care of African kids' hair.
Wow.
You understand?
Yes, exactly.
So this, and then the kids, they are dirty, They, if you see their skin, they're all white because we African we use a lot of cream like oil.
Yes.
We have dry skin.
Exactly.
So you can see the difference. And then I tell myself, why take a child from his parents to place to another who don't even
care about them, and they're not taking care of them. They don't know how to do all these things, and sometimes they can be very aggressive to the child because they don't understand actually the culture of the child. They don't understand how the child is raised up. So many of these cases, you find out that children are really destroyed,
abused, destroyed. And at the end of the day, the kids commit suicide.
Exactly, and that is the sad case. The sad part is that. And they're happy to see those kind of situation happens, children, suffering. But what is the impact that these kind of situation have on African families?
It has a very bad impact.
Yeah.
And most people mentally become destroyed.
Exactly. Even I've
mentally destroyed.
I've met this sister who was actually, they took her child when maybe in her 30s, and now she's in her 60s.
Oh, wow.
And she's still, mentally,
trauma,
the trauma is there, because it's really hurt, to have your child taken from you. And maybe the person that you or they have actually given the child to is not really taking well of the children. And it has a big impact on the families, especially Africans, because we as Africans, we love our children
so much. So much.
And our children is a form of an investment, because we raise our children so that our children can take care of us when we become old. And now what you have actually invested in, because I've heard of people being taken, 5 children. You have some friends who have been...
I have a lot of friends who have gone through trauma. Some of them died in Norway. It's sad to say, but the truth must come out,
Exactly.
The purpose of Barnetvernet or child welfare, it was good.
Exactly.
But money have ruled the world.
Exactly.
So it has turned to evil.
So you were talking about money.
Yeah.
How does money come in?
Money come in because as I heard, when you are working in Barnetvernet, like foster parent, it's like if you take a child, the government pay you a lot of money to take care of.
Okay, so the government kind of pays the foster money, foster families.
Foster family, even this institution, they pay them to
keep the child.
And because if you have kids in Norway, you have money for the kids' well-being. So if you don't have that kid, whoever has the money goes to that person.
Okay.
And then they are paying you.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, all of the money. And even as I heard, even get more money. Because it's like a child staying with you, the child needs this, that. But the money is not used on the children.
Exactly.
You understand?
Okay.
It's not
so
used.
They kind of use the money on them. And then they have to get paid.
Yeah, they have to get paid.
You are the one who's actually spending the time on the child who's not yours, and all that. So it becomes kind of a business, and the child welfare is actually neglected
in most cases.
Wow. I mean, this is really sad to see that people actually die.
Yes, people die. Do you know what it means as a mother or father,
Of course.
And we African, our culture, our children, you see the difference, like you teach them your culture, your principle,
Exactly.
And then your child end up being in a strange family that don't even show them love,
Exactly. And do you have... Sometimes you don't have even... They don't tell you where the child is.
No, they don't. And, they don't. Because I have a friend who they took her son. Now he's, I think, 23 years old.
Wow.
She didn't see him until he was 18 years old.
Wow.
And when that boy came back to her, he was completely different.
Wow.
He was 5 when they took him, you know. He was completely different.
Wow. They change you.
They change you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we Africans, we show our children love, and they show a love in return. You see the difference, you know. They grow up with that discipline, you know.
Yes.
But when these kids are taken and fall in the wrong homes, they become different.
Yes.
So.
And sometimes they're very, very rude.
Oh my goodness, they are so. And you know, I have learned that Barnetvernet, they're even looking for homes to put, you know, kids.
Exactly.
And most of these children have gone bad. Sorry to say.
Exactly.
They have become so aggressive that even the foster parents can't manage them.
Yes.
So now they are taking contact with the African parents. Why take contact with Africans when you think we are not capable of taking care of our kids?
Because I was actually was planning an interview with or a talk with one of the Congolese, you know, I can say Congolese community boss or leader, because what I heard last time is that they can actually contact their community if they have taken the child of a Congolese person and look for a Congolese who can actually, if there is any Congolese who's willing to take these children. I think that can kind of help.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just taking the child and giving it to a random family.
But that's good. If they are doing it, then it's good.
So I heard of that. So maybe African families have to register, kind of, be available in terms of helping the children to kind of go through these situations. So if that happens, it's okay. It's really a nice thing. But if it's just something I heard, then but you have also Africans working in these institutions.
Yes, yes, I know they have.
Yeah, are they aggressive as heartless as those people, or how do you see it?
Actually, for me, I know one person, and he has been very helpful.
Okay.
You know, for him, he has been helpful because I can remember when I had a problem, I called him. He told me what to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that Africans, you know, work in Barnetvernet institution, you know, to help
and to understand.
And
because I remember there is a certain father here. I won't mention his name, but he was very known here in Drammen. He was known to be taking children of Congolese families. So everybody was kind of afraid of him. Because sometimes we as Africans, the bad thing of ours is that when you're employed in these areas, you want to impress.
Yeah.
And then by impressing, you're actually hurting
your own people.
Your own people. And then people do not realize that, because once you're hurting your own community, you are killing the community.
So true.
So these children become useless in the community, and then that kills the entire purpose of the family why they came here. And then sometimes you have divorce in the family. You have the issues which comes after, you know, effects which comes after, you know. It's just becoming like a domino which is falling apart, and it creates really sad situations. But it is a sad reality, since I've kind of you know, it's happened in my family, but my mother was very aggressive to them.
Yeah, it depends, you know.
I remember she went to school and she was saying, "Don't ever pay my children," you know. When she could see that woman, you know, at the shop, she said, "Look at that." You know, that woman became so traumatized.
Yeah.
You know, she became so traumatized that she quits going at school.
Goodness.
So I don't know if that's the right way to act, but you know,
but
because you have love for your children.
Yeah, it depends, you know, like when I talk about being aggressive, you know, because I've heard some people, like when Barnetvernet come, you know, at your door, I've heard some people want to fight them. You don't have to fight them.
You don't have to fight.
But if you can be aggressive in your mouth because hello.
Yeah, of
who
course.
Just sit there and say, yeah, it's calm, you know. You know, so once it's like, you know, your mouth, because I have a friend who even threatened with voodoo.
Oh.
Yeah, she said, if you take my child, I'm going to send voodoo on you. And she said, what is voodoo? And then my friend told her, say, you see people are dying from cancer today, you know. And she got so afraid, and no one came back.
Oh, really?
Oh, they didn't not bother her. So, you know, you can fight with your mouth, you know.
Yeah. So they went and checked what is voodoo.
And it was not a case, you know. Yeah. So it's, you know, we have different kinds of cases, and it depends on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to be your own person and react to, you know, to the situation.
Just have to.
Yeah, but this is really interesting actually to see how, you know, stories of these families. And I've seen, you know, many people even crying online.
Yeah.
Parents, you know, crying on TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, you know, of how they're taking the children. I think
another thing, I'm not cutting you off, and one thing I can tell you, and when they take your kids, you know, like sometimes they go to school and take them, you will not even see them.
Wow, yeah.
And you have to contact a lawyer. In most cases, they will always tell you, oh, we can give you, don't do that. Get your own lawyer.
Yes, exactly.
Don't take their lawyer because they have their own lawyer.
Oh, they have their own lawyer,
and then always talk to people who have been through it.
Exactly.
You know? Especially those people who went through it and still, you know, did not lose their children. Like me, I can stay in I can stay and talk about Barnetvernet because I know I have been through it. I'm not afraid because it's good to create awareness. You know?
Exactly. Because I'm thinking of all the pain they have caused.
It's painful, and then the trauma, and then, you know, your life changed for good.
Exactly.
Some people, you know.
Exactly.
So I think that we Africans, we should come out.
Yeah, and start speaking.
And speak about, you know, because like I said, Barnetvernet, it's not about just taking the kids, you know.
It's about money.
It's about money, and also it's about helping.
Yeah, but how do they help? Excuse me, because I don't see.
That was the purpose.
Yeah, that was the purpose.
That was the purpose. Or that is the purpose because they are still existing. That is the purpose.
Yeah. So,
but in our cases, African cases, they have taken our children.
Exactly.
Then helping us.
Okay.
If you look at, you have 100 cases.
Yeah.
You will find 75% families have been taking the children from their families.
Of course.
And then 25% have gotten help.
Okay. So it's a big percentage that does not get help.
Yes.
But now, how do they help the child? Can they help you in the family?
Yes. And the best thing to do, my advice to Africans or foreigners out there, you know, when you have kids, you know, be the first, go out there. You can take contact with Barnetvernet and say, I need help.
Okay. If there is any issue,
Yes. Say, you know, because
if you see those red lights.
Yes. If you see a red light, don't wait for the school, don't wait for the kindergarten, or don't wait for the neighbor.
Yeah. Just go
to and tell them, I need help.
Okay.
Because when you go to them and tell them that you need help, then you have registered your own case.
Yeah.
Then when the school comes with their complaint,
it's closed.
It's closed because you have gone to them. And if they don't help you, because
then they are to blame.
So you see?
But you know,
it's hard because it's like,
you know, because you know these people, they are known for
don't know, you know,
taking children.
So that's why we have to create awareness. What to do.
Yeah. So I mean, in your case, they kind of helped, you know, they sent you a helper and all that, you know. But in some other cases,
in most cases, they have destroyed family.
They really destroy families.
They have.
And because every African that I know that has families, they really complain about this institution.
Yeah.
Because everybody cries of what they do. and how they actually kill families instead
They
of
do.
building families.
They do.
But do you think they know that?
Yes, they know. They know, my dear.
Yeah.
They know because it's like you must have report, And what puzzles me about Barnetvernet is like when you look at the number of children that have been abused,
Yeah.
when you look at the number of children that have been destroyed, it's a record they have, It shouldn't be like this.
No.
And it's not getting better, it's just getting worse.
Oh,
so
exactly.
for me, I don't understand the purpose anymore.
Exactly. And children in Oslo, there are gang murderers and all that. It's these children who actually just the Barnetvernet want to give the freedom.
Yeah.
Because what people have to know when you're coming to Norway or to Scandinavia, they kind of, put children's right first. And that children's right destroys a lot of children who come from Africa who think that they do not have any right.
Yeah.
So how do you help somebody who thinks that they do not have any right and suddenly they have their right?
That's the problem. That's what we are facing because I just feel they don't respect our culture.
Yeah.
It's like you want me to respect your culture, but you don't want to respect mine. And then why must you help foreigners if you don't want to respect their culture? And it's in the Norwegian law.
And to know.
You understand?
Culture. Yeah, because it's one thing to respect it, but it's one other thing to know it. So but still we have some African families as well, or foreign families, who when it comes to discipline, the only thing they know is actually physical.
Yeah. Which I think is not good actually because physical discipline, I think it helps to make the children more hippie.
Aggressive as well.
More aggressive and more because it's like if you keep doing something, you get used to it. The kids get used to it.
Yeah.
And that way I think we Africans, we should work on, because it's like in Africa, I'm sure our parents didn't know that it was not good. You can talk, you can sit the kids down and talk to them, say don't do that, and you can deny them going to their friends or a lot of ways you can discipline the kids
than actually hating them.
On them,
Yeah, because some of us, not accusing my parents or anything, we kind of, we're very, very active, we are 4 boys, very active, fighting all the time. And we have grown with that sense of the parent has to kind of take a whipping, and use the 10 commandments to kind of straighten you up. Now you're coming here and then you're not getting that. You become even really your head, you think that you're somebody. So how do you kind of shift 90 degrees from that situation?
Yeah, you just have to, like I say, always tell the kids, this is not right.
Yeah.
And if you do this, I'm going to do this to you.
Yeah.
Because when you put hands on them, and especially when the kids know that it's not right, because here they educate them in school, in kindergarten, that it's not allowed. They can use it against you parent,
Exactly.
So you just have to find a way. You find something the kids like doing, and then use that as your weapon.
Yeah.
Instead of hating on them. But it depends on.
It depends.
It depends, but sometimes it depends how you hate. You hate with love,
Yeah, exactly.
You can hate with love.
Yeah. How do you hate with love?
Like because the first thing you have to erase from the child's head. Yeah, they say I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
You can if you do this is not hate.
Yeah.
Like if I want to get my son attention, for example, and I'm calling him and I do like this, is that hate? No. So I feel this is like I need your attention. You understand? And then you tell the child, I needed your attention. Because we have to make African children to know that if I hate you, it doesn't mean I'm violent.
No.
Because you have to look at your parents' expression, I'm not taking belt or switch beating you, and
Yeah.
that is different. That I see violent.
Yeah. Because some parents actually do that.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
take the
Even
belt
Norwegians
and
do that.
yes, even Norwegian do that because I've seen Norwegians as well. When their kids actually do mistakes, they come and they hold very strong the hand of the child, and the face is very red. I'm like, poor child. Yeah, so they still have that sense of hitting their children, but they can't do it because the government is actually
You have to
on
be
them.
very
So
careful.
it doesn't just happen to actually African families.
No.
It happens also to Norwegian
Yeah.
families. But when something, mostly because most Africans know somebody who have lost their children in the system. So these cases are really spread out, and it's something which affects really a lot our community. So the best thing is actually to create kind of awareness.
And you should be able to speak out. This is nothing about being ashamed.
No.
Like I said, would you know the kind of parent you are? There is nothing. You don't have to be ashamed or something. Parenting is something in you.
Exactly.
It's something you have to do every day.
Yeah.
So if I come and tell you my problem, what I'm facing, you could give me some advices. Exactly. But when I just, most African now, they are so afraid to even talk about.
Exactly. This. Because it becomes like something of shame.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this, for me, I wish.
Yeah.
Awareness. You go on Facebook, you see someone advertising here,
yeah, exactly.
Products, the business. We have to come
out. To support one another.
Yes, we have to support. If you have a telephone call, you don't have to rush anything.
Exactly. Take
your phone, look among your friends, see the one you think will, talk to you, give you good advices.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I'm facing. What can I do?
Exactly.
Don't keep it. Don't be afraid.
You
don't
keep
be
it
ashamed.
To yourself. Yeah. And that kills, because it's a slow killer. Because you actually, once you start thinking of it on your own, it grinds you, it eats you, and then you are just gone before anything happens.
And when they see you getting cuckoos, then they say, no, you are not capable of taking care.
Oh, that's really sad. It's really a sad thing to see how these things unfold. And you don't want to be close to somebody who's going through that situation, because it's really hard to give them or advice or comfortability, or somebody who has lost their kids. What would you tell them? It's really a sad situation. But anyway, if you're coming to Norway, welcome. If you're coming to
this nice country, prepare yourself.
You have to prepare yourself of the cold and of the Barnetvernet, or the Norwegian institution of children. So that's what happens a lot, because I've seen these issues a lot on social media. I just see them when actually people start crying for their children. So I have not seen that there is somebody giving actually awareness, or speaking to somebody about it. So having this kind of experience and talking to parents who has gone through it, because how can you concentrate even on work when your children have been taken? It's kind of makes you very feeble and very, very weak. So knowing that somebody has gone through it, and then they have kind of come out successful out of the system, it kind of helps you and prepare you, the next level. Yeah. So I don't know if you have something extra to say to us, actually.
No. Like I said, we just have to be open.
Yeah, we have really to be open and talk about these things and share. So I think we will round it out here. Thank you, Amelia.
And thank you for inviting me. It was nice being here.
It was really nice. I hope it was really an easy conversation to go through.
Yeah, I think it was easy.
Yeah. Maybe I was bringing kind of memories of how, it was happening, and how You were in the moment.
No, for me it's okay because I needed to do this.
Yeah.
To create this awareness, you know.
Yes. Because I know also one person who's actually they wanted to actually take our children, you know, our babies of 6 months or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
And 6 months, yeah. And these people, how can you raise a baby of 6 months and the baby is sick?
Oh my goodness.
So they're saying that she was not contacting the doctor. You know, they have to take her children. So, you know, they can create any case.
Yeah.
You know, on you. So you
even when your baby is, if your child is stunning, you know.
Yeah.
They can create a case.
And
forgetting to know that we are different, you know.
Exactly.
And because I have seen many tiny Norwegian children, but I don't know when, you know, why should someone's child be taken away because they are tiny, you know?
Yeah. Because what I've realized just before we close, what I realized is that since I've started taking my children to kindergarten, my child to kindergarten, so I one day I came and then what happened was actually the kid was actually she had a scar on her face, and they came to me and said, okay, it was a tree that hit her, like. I was very mad. I wanted to say something, but
oh my goodness.
I was like, okay. So I didn't say anything. But now, the second time was actually my child, you know, we were driving, passing by the kindergarten, and I was saying, hey, you're going to kindergarten tomorrow? And he was like, no, I'm not going there. Because usually she's actually very happy to go to kindergarten. And then when I took her to kindergarten, she was crying. You know, she did not want to go to kindergarten. So, and the day before, or that night, she was actually crying at bed, on the bed, you know, at night. She didn't want to sleep alone. So, and my wife told me that the teachers told her that there was some issues at school. I was like, okay, this must have been an issue which happened. And then they did not tell us explicitly what happened. And the child is unable to sleep. And when we are passing by kindergarten, the child is saying, I don't want to go to kindergarten. I say, hey, I am going to ask those teachers what happened to my child. I send them a message. I say, hey, you have to tell me what happened to the child. This what happened on Friday.
Yeah.
You didn't actually, you know, I send them a long message saying that I need to know all the information of what happened. And why is she saying that she doesn't want to come to kindergarten? Why is she suddenly crying when she's coming at kindergarten? And she never used to cry.
Yeah.
And then now she's crying. Why? And then why is it that she's afraid of you people? And then I wrote them on Thursday. Friday I did not hear anything. I had the answer on Tuesday. I had to tell them, hey, I want a meeting with you guys. You tell me. All the way apologize for answering late because all the. I was like, hey, forget it. But you tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, we are not sure what happened and all that. So, but you have to be awake.
You must be awake.
You have to be awake because these are your children and they are not the ones to keep the children for you. You are the parents who are supposed to keep your children for yourself. So you have to be awake. You have to confront them when you hear anything.
Exactly.
Because the child is just a child. And I have decided not to take my children every day. We take them twice a week. And when we take them twice a week, it's 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. I pick them up. And they were complaining about my children not being there often.
Oh, no, but you have to run.
Yeah, I can't. come and putting my children in this kind of situation. If I am home, I want my children to be home, having really a good education home. And by the way, kindergarten is not the only place. You don't have to take your children at kindergarten. You can keep them home, and the government can.
Yes, that's true. You don't have to,
Yeah. So
you don't. When you have the time, I think it's better to keep them home, and
keep them home.
You can train and teach them, and then prepare them.
Because mostly they go there just to play, and then those people are so lazy. They just, I'm sorry, they just sit there and then complain and make cases. I think we both have to do a good job. Kindergarten has to help the parents, and because you are keeping somebody's parents. You are not there to somebody's children. You are not there to actually make the parents lose their children. That's not your work. Your work is actually to help the parents when they're mostly in need of that. And why don't they actually contact the parent first, and then they just jump to this institution?
Like I said, it depends who who your child falls
in the hands
because some of them, they are just there, to destroy, and while others are there to help. It's always. And another thing I have to tell parents is, like you say, you have to be awake. As a parent, because as long as you are awake, they know that this guy, this woman, she's fathering her child. Because sometimes some parents just take your children to kindergarten after you don't even ask how did they go. You must always ask them.
You don't trust them.
Yes. You just don't go deliver them and then pick them. That's the time, because then they know, okay, we have a meat. This one,
this one we're going to eat.
We are going to, But when you are every day, on them, then they know that no, don't go there,
Don't try.
It's important, we as African parents to show, a lot of concern for our children.
Because I remember one issue is that my child was my sister was going to pick up my child, and then they had closed my baby into the seats, and the other children were playing, and she was so mad. She said, "Why would you close her there? Oh, she's always active." Of course, she's a child. You have to take care of her. So parents, be careful. You have to be really up. These are your children. This skin does not have to make you feel inferior. You are not inferior. And sometimes people feel inferior because they're African, they come from Africa. Do not feel like that. Do not be threatened by a skin which is lighter than you. We all people, we all make mistakes, and children are just children, and then they can say whatever they have to say at school, but you have to be protective of them. So I think we should be aware and do what we have been told to do, and try to follow up, have conversation with one another. So thank you very much, Amelia, once again.
Thank you so
really
much.
Nice.
It was
and,
nice.
God bless you.
God bless you.